Hello, this is Dr. Don, and this video is part 2 in the series Making the Best Use of the Rocket Math online game. This concerns the fluency data you can get from the 1-minute tests. You should have already viewed the video on the review progress screen. That screen allows you to see how students are doing in terms of the game in real time. The 1-minute races provide fluency data that you can use to demonstrate if students are developing increased fluency in math facts. Besides teaching math facts deliberately and sequentially, the online game also assesses math fact fluency with 1-minute tests. 1-minute races. We don't want to alarm the students by calling them tests, so we call them races. They answer problems randomly selected from all the problems taught in their learning track for 1 minute. They can skip the ones they don't know. Listen to the directions they get every time they have one of these races to do.
This is Mission Control. Your mission today is to do a 1-minute race. You are to answer as many problems as you can, as fast as you can. Tap the check mark as soon as you answer to quickly go on to the next problem. If you don't know the answer, tap the check mark and quickly go on to the next problem. Your score will be the number of problems you answer correctly in 1 minute. Your score will be shown to you at the end. Hit go when you're ready to begin. Good luck.
You see the data here that they get to see right when they finish the test. Oh, and they can skip those directions after a while. They just click on the red X and do that. You can also see that if you go to your review progress screen. So this is the rainbow connection here, and review progress is the red bar at the top. Brings you to a screen looks like this. And in that screen, right here, this column says latest 1-minute race. And so it gives you the results of those after they do it. These are scheduled by the system automatically when the student finishes set A, I, R, and the last one, Z. As they progress then through these pages, the number of problems they can answer correctly in 1 minute should be improving. On the dashboard, so here's the orange bar dashboard, there's a pink button that says Export Scheduled Race Results. So those scheduled races again are A, I, R, and Z. And here's an example of what one of those export looks like. Scheduled race reports export example. So there's an account average. So for your whole class across the top, the score, the number correctly answered, and the number attempted at each place. So after set A, after set I, after set R, after set Z. And as you can see, their fluency is increasing steadily, 6, 9, 16, and then 20 in a minute when they've reached the end of that. Individual student scores are in here, and not all of them do well. If you see a student with a fluency score that's troubling, we recommend assigning a 1-minute race for them to do on their next login to double check that. And if possible, when they do that, watch to make sure that they're engaged and giving it their full attention, undivided attention. So here's how to assign a 1-minute race to any or all of your students in your class. So step 1 is select the students that you want to have the race. Just put a check mark by their name, or you can select them all by choosing Select All at the top. Then once you've selected the students, go over to the orange Bulk Action button, click on that, and you'll see a menu of things that you can do with those students. And one of them is assign a 1-minute race on their next login. So the next time they log in, they'll start with the 1-minute race. You can also remove that from any students. You can, of course, do the same thing in the individual action button. You just go to that student's individual action, click on it. One of the choices is to assign a 1-minute race. Periodically, whenever you want, you can export assigned race reports. There's a button to do that on your dashboard, and that will give you a printout of all the students and their any 1-minute races you've assigned to them. And if it were me, I would do this every Friday. Thursday night, I would assign everybody a 1-minute race on the next login. And Friday afternoon, I would print out that export assigned race reports and see how everybody's doing, just to see if they're improving week on week. So this has been part 2 of making the best use of the online game. This is concerning the fluency data you can get from the 1-minute races. The other parts in this series are the first steps in part 1, part 3 about game speed, and whether it's too fast and what to do about it, and part 4 is how to motivate students.